know. Let me start off by saying that I've been with U.S. Xpress for about like 3 months. I know there's a lot of bad stuff that's being said about U.S. Xpress, like a lot of bad stuff that people say about U.S. Xpress, but I'm just gonna give it from my point of view. I've been with U.S. Xpress and I made some good money. I'm on a dedicated account. I'm on a Dollar Tree account. 3 months, and I made more money in this 3 months than I made at any trucking job working 3 months there. I made some really good money, and like I said, it's hard work. It ain't easy work. Like, you're back there, you're throwing boxes, and then you got to drive. And I mean, driving is the easy part. That's when you're getting a little break. But you're back there throwing boxes. You're back there working. It gets hard. It gets tough because, you're getting tired. It's hot outside. It's cold outside. I really haven't had to work through the cold yet, but it's getting hot. Like, I started like right when the weather was perfect, and now it's starting to pick up and get a little hot. And I'm gonna let you know right now, there is no air back there whatsoever. So you got to get you a fan or something. Put a fan back there so you can get some air circulating. But I mean, I got the receipts, man. Like, I got the receipts. The papers are in. Like, the paychecks are in. I'm making really good money. And so anybody who wants to make some decent money is not afraid to throw some boxes. And I'm not talking about a little bit of, like, you're moving a lot of boxes. They're by piece count. And so a truck can be from anywhere from 2,000 to 4,000 pieces. So that's 4,000 actual boxes that you're picking up. It can go from as small as like a little booklet box, you're throwing little boxes, to as big as, big old boxes of toilet paper. Those are light, but like the bleach boxes, they're about this big and they can get heavy. And you got your like monster packs, you got your juice packs, your waters. You get a whole pallet of waters, and you gotta put them on these rollers and roll them down out. So I mean, you're putting in hard work. But if you think you can do it and you want to make some good money, man, U.S. Xpress, the Dollar Tree account, I think it's the way to go. If you want to get on, I can give you my referral. Like, I can give you my name, or you can get a referral. We can pop you. I'm pretty sure there's some bonuses included if you do that. So if you want to do that, hit me up in the comments, or I don't know if you can message on YouTube. This is my first video that I'm posting on this channel on YouTube. I'm just gonna basically talk about my experience at U.S. Xpress and how it's been. And like I said, it's hard work, and I stay out here though. So that's another thing too. Like, I can show you my paychecks, but if you're not willing to put in the work and you're not willing to like stay out I go home for my 34 hour, and that's it. I go home 34 hour. As soon as my 34 hours up, I'm messaging them like, hey, before I even my 34 hours up, I'm telling them like, hey, I'm ready to leave at 6 o'clock. If my 34 hours up at 6 o'clock, like, hey, I'm ready to leave out at 6 o'clock. What's my next load? So I mean, you can still make really good money coming out here running and being home every weekend. I'm home every weekend. I'm still home every weekend. And you can come out here and run some loads, not aggressive as not as aggressive as I do it. I run pretty aggressive. So I mean, I'm staying within my clock. I do everything in my clock. But when I get in that truck, I'm moving as fast as I can, and I'm pushing it so I can get out. I mean, and then another thing too is like, sometimes not about how fast as you work. It's about how fast the store works. So you got to be patient with them. You got to be good to them. So I mean, like, you don't want to piss them off. You don't want to just start throwing a bunch of stuff down the rollers and then have stuff flying off, because that will happen, and then they will get pissed off and they'll slow down, and then that screws you. So I try to take care of the people that work at the store a lot, and I try to work with them like, hey, am I going too fast, or like, what's going on? If I can help them out as much as possible, and that's what I'm gonna do, because I want to keep them happy, to keep them moving. So, and then that keeps me moving. So I run as much as I can run. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I run as much as I can run all the time, and that's how I make such good paychecks at this Dollar Tree account. Like, I'm running every single day. I'm running my clock out. I'm running my hours out every single week as much as possible. I mean, sometimes there are some weeks where the loads are just, I mean, the way that I'm loaded, I don't run my full clock out, but I still go home and get 34-hour reset, and then I'm back out. As soon as I can go back out, I'm going back out. But for the most part, There is no 34-hour reset over the road. That's not what I'm doing. I'm coming home every weekend, doing a reset, going right back out. But like I said, I mean, you got to be willing to run, and you got to be willing to put some work in. It can be hard work sometimes, but I mean, for the most part, there's been maybe 1 or 2 stores where they had like 6 people unloading the trailer, and I got like really, like I could barely keep up. But most of the time, you'll get to a store and you're gonna have like 2,000 pieces or 1,500 pieces, and they'll have like 3 or 4 people. You'll have your rollers set up, and you start putting boxes on there, and most of the time, like if you can get it straight instead of having like a curve, if you ever get on the count or ever seen some of the videos, sometimes the rollers have to curve to go in the store. That slows you down because you can't pack the rollers as much, because then those heavy boxes start pushing off the light boxes, and then it just starts to make a mess. But if it's you back straight up into the store and your rollers are straight, you can pack your rollers all the way back up from where their rollers end to where your rollers start. And so when you get to that point, at that point, sometimes you're only putting one box on. Like, it's just, you don't even have to be super fast, but you're turning around, putting a box on, turn around, put a box on, turn around, put a box on. And for the most part, you can get quickly unloaded as long as you're putting a box on like every second, and you're putting the box on, and they're taking it, and they're constantly taking it off. So you put a box on, and you can get done unloading pretty quick. It's the times where you get to the stores and they only have 2 people, and you stack up the rollers, and then you're sitting there waiting for 3 or 4 minutes before you can even put in another box, or you're sitting there waiting while they're taking the stuff off, and they're going slow. And that's really the only thing that's really going to slow you down in this account, is if you get to a slow store. But I've been pretty fortunate to where I've been to multiple stores. I've been to quite a few stores. I've been working here for 3 months, so I've been to quite a few stores, and there's only been, I would say, probably about a handful of stores where I got there and I'm just sitting there waiting for them to clear they don't even let them clear the line. I'm waiting for them to take off boxes so I could put more boxes. And then and I know I'm talking about pieces. You probably don't know what pieces are. It's just how many boxes they're getting. That's all it is. That's all the piece. It's a piece count. It's how many boxes each store is getting. And I have some stores where they get 1,500 pieces, and I can unload that because they're going as fast as I can go. Well, they're probably going faster because they got more people, but I'm going as fast as I can, and we can get that done in an hour and 30 minutes. 1,500 pieces, like that's crazy. Like that's crazy work. Like, it's usually about like an hour for every 500 pieces is like what a normal unload is. And then you'll get to a store. I've had, like I said, only about a handful of stores. Then you'll get to a store where they have 500 pieces, and they're taking 2.5, 3 hours to unload it. But like I said, I've been fortunate enough to where I've only had a handful of stores that it's been like that. And most of my stores go pretty quick. I mean, they're pretty good about it, because they want to get it done. You want to get it done. You got to get to the next store. So, from my experience so far, like I said, I probably, not even 3 months. I don't think I've even been here 3 months. I started like March 18th. It's June 3rd now, June 4th. And I made some really good money. So right now, as far as I'm concerned, US Express, Dollar Tree account. I mean, the people, and then my dispatchers are really good too. Like, I communicate with them, and then I treat everybody with respect. It doesn't matter who you are. I'm treating you with respect. Like, there ain't no point in not treating somebody with how a person's supposed to be treated. So I treat everybody with respect, especially my dispatchers. Like, I call them if something's happening for some reason. I'm not getting a load and I'm sitting having their wait. Like, I'm not calling them bitching like, hey, where's my load at, because it's not up to them. All they do is just, they get the loads and they give them to you. That's it. Most of the time where you're going to have your problems, and the people that really should be hearing like what the dispatchers are hearing, are the people that are actually loading the trailers, and the dispatchers have nothing to do with that. All they do is they sit there and wait for the distribution center to give them the packets, and as soon as they get the packets, I mean, it's the dispatcher's job to put it out there. They want to put it out there as fast as they can. They need to get these loads delivered. If they don't get these loads delivered, then then they're behind getting chewed from their bosses. So If they got the loads, they're gonna give it to you. It's not like, oh, my dispatchers are shit and they're not giving me this load, or I'm having to wait and sit around. If you're having to wait and sit around at US Express Dollar Tree account, I'm telling you, it's the DC. It's when they get behind. And so far, I've had that happen. Like, 1 week, I had a pretty bad week. But even then, in that pretty bad week, I still made more than what I was making doing at my local job. I was doing a local job in town. I was home every night. I was working from probably like 8 to 5 every day, driving semis, and I was still making more than that. And then even I see some of these companies that are OTR, and they're advertising make this much a week, being OTR, like being gone like a week or two, or even just being gone all week and coming home for your 34-hour reset. What their average and what they're offering, I still made as much or more on my bad week at US Express than what those over-the-road trucking companies were offering. And I'm like, that's crazy. And this is not going to be for everybody. I'm going to tell you right now, it's not going to be for everybody. Not everybody can do it. I see a lot of people here. Most of the people that I see that are running these accounts, I'm not even in the best shape. I'm not in the best shape at all. I'm not too terrible, but I'm not in the best shape. I'm far from it. But a lot of the drivers that I see here, they're in pretty good shape, or they're pretty big guys. They're just big guys. I'm not saying you have to be a big guy. I mean, I've seen little guys too, little skinny guys that are out here. I've seen some women out here. It's really just how, like, what you got inside of you. I mean, if you got that hard work in you and you're willing to do it, by all means, come out here and try it, because it's good money. You'll make good money, and you're home I've been home every weekend. Even though the way I run, there's been a couple times where, like, it was really close because I was running out of hours on my 70 hours, but I still made it home. And that was just because I chose to do that. I chose to take that extra load. They always gave me when I first started, they, were thinking I was just going to be like another driver, and like, yeah, I just want to get home. Like, I wanted to be home at a certain time, and I told them, like, I don't care when I go home as long as I'm not doing a 34-hour reset on the road. And they're like, okay, that's fine with us. We can deal with that. And we started making out a schedule that works best for me. So I was like, I don't care if I'm home on the weekends. I don't care like what days I'm home. I just want to get home for my 34-hour reset, so I'm not out on the road for a day and a half just in my truck doing my reset. And so they're like, okay, we can work with that. They set it up, and every week that I've been here, I've been home for my 34-hour reset, and then I just go back at it. So that's all I really got to say in this one. If you're interested, like I said, hit me up in the comments and give you a referral, and you can get on. Even if you don't even got your CDL, I'm pretty sure they do CDL school. You can get your CDL. You can train with a trainer, and I'm a trainer, so if you get your CDL, you could possibly train with me. I'm on the dedicated, and it'd be better to train with a trainer that's on, if you're trying to get on with Dollar Tree, the Dollar Tree account. It's better to train with someone that's on the Dollar Tree account, just because when you're a student and you go on the training phase, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be put on a Dollar Tree account trainer. He can be OTR, so you can just be driving, and you're going to get your driving in, but you're not going to get used to like unloading the trailers and backing up into some of these spots are pretty tight. You got to be pretty skilled sometimes. I mean, it's really just all about like watching and remembering what you're taught in school to be able to get in some of these spots. They're really tight. But I mean, for the most part, they're pretty easy to get into. I mean, most of them are behind like they're big like super like where a supermarket is, like the shopping malls. A lot of them are in the shopping malls. Some of those shopping malls have tighter back areas, but a lot of them, I mean, you can just pull right behind them and then back straight up, or sometimes you have to have a little bit of an angle. It just depends. But like I said, you can be a new CDL driver or not even have a CDL. Come get your CDL here at US Express. Get on with a trainer. And if you get on with a trainer like me, I'm already at the Dollar Tree account, so you'll get the experience of backing in, unloading, and then you're going to unload with me. I'm not just going to be sitting in the truck. Like, we're both going to be unloading, so you're not just going to get thrown into like unloading a whole truck by yourself. It's going to be me and you, so it'll be a little bit easier. get you some time to get used to unloading. You know, if you're not used to moving around, you've just been not really very active. It's you're gonna get a little workout, and so, but at least I'll be there, or the trainer will be there, show you how to set up the rollers as best as possible, because there is a certain way that if you don't set it up right, you're gonna have boxes falling everywhere, and you don't want that. So, or like I said, no CDL, or even a CDL. I think CDL, they want you to have at least 6 months experience. I mean, of course, like everybody, every other trucking company, no DUIs, no SAP program. They do a hair follicle test. And so, I mean, if you're doing anything that you're not supposed to be doing, I would say at least, if you, I mean, and you're willing to stop and come and drive for US Express and not doing it anymore, I think it's at least like 3 or 4 months, you know, just stop. And in 3 and 4 months, you could possibly get on and get a clean drug test, come back. So they do a hair follicle. They do like a 3-day orientation. This is if you have experience. So, and they do the hair follicle and all that drug test if you're new too. So, but I mean, that's something you'll take care of when you call them and set that up. But experience, I'm pretty sure they want like at least 6 months experience. You'll come and do a 3-day orientation, and then they'll put you with a trainer. If you have experience, I think they put you with a trainer for like a week, and then you go to account, and then you start working, and you start making that money. And like I said, US Express Dollar Tree account, you can make some really good money. It's gonna be some hard work, but it's definitely worth it. And in my eyes, and I wouldn't want to do any other over the road type of stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like driving, but I mean, you do some driving here sometimes, especially when you get sent out on longer hauls. And those pay good too, but the longer hauls, you get the mileage pay, but you don't get the unload pay, because if you do multiple long loads in 1 week, they pay you an unload fee plus the stop fee, which that's also a big part of the pay too. So it's good. It's kind of good to have a mixture of like one long haul, couple short ones, because then you get that stop pay and that unload pay. So the stop pay is like $25 a stop, and then the unload pay is like $250 to finish the complete load. And then on top of that, you get the miles. So you want to have some miles, but you also want to have multiple stores to get that stop pay and that unload pay. So if you're ready to put some work in, but make some really good money, US Express Dollar Tree account, let me know. And that's it for this one.